Hello and welcome to this episode of Peak Life. We've got a really cool topic to talk about today. We are talking to a real life author who lives right here in Chesapeake, Abby Ewell. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
So your book,
Yes.
WTF,
Yes.
Widows That Function. Love the title, by the way.
Thank you.
Give us a real quick synopsis of what your book is about.
So it starts off, obviously it came to fruition because my husband passed away. So it is about that, but it's also about how I've learned to live without him with my children and, in the day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you say the day-to-day life, I feel like that's something that really struck me about your book. So, you go into a book knowing, it's basically about grief and post-death. And so you expect the funeral scene, which you talked about. You expect the year anniversary.
Yes.
But the thing that really stood out to me was the little things. Like, there was a point where you were in a hardware store and you were like, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. I just want to bump into him.
Yeah.
Or, you start dating again and it's like, what do I do with the rings?
Yeah.
Tell me about how those small moments were really the most impactful, if they were.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
And it was like, I guess it's like you sort of like the funeral, you think about that, and then you think about the year anniversary and things like that, but it was almost, it's even like the movie previews. You watch a preview and, you didn't know that, like, it just such a big thing going, the time goes by. Like, the movies don't stop for you. Life is not stopping. And so Tim was always so in and out of the house, like, because he was in construction, so he wasn't in an office, so he could always come home, drive by, stop in. And so it's, even sometimes now, I'm like, I'll hear the garage door open, I'm like, oh
my gosh.
Oh my world. Or like, he's not on vacation, he's not on a trip.
Yeah.
So it's weird. So you want to go, I just want to see his face in a crowd.
Yeah.
But then you're like, wait, I won't, but I will. I won't.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. And how many years has it been at this point?
This November will be 5 years.
Okay, 5 years. A big piece of your book is sort of following you working through these stages of grief. And you sort of joke at one point, and you're like, you hear the stereotypes about the grief comes in waves, and you were kind of like pish-poshing it, and then it hits you.
It does.
So tell me about your process through grief and what it ended up being like for you.
It was almost like people say, take each day as it comes, and I remember the morning I had to wake up my kids to tell them. Some of the stuff I remember exactly what I said, and some stuff I'm like, I don't even know what came out of my mouth. But I do know I kept saying, we'll do it minute by minute. Like, because we can't say, we'll do it today. It's like, right now we're going to do this part. So I had to do it like each moment. And then as time went by, it was maybe each hour, each afternoon, each weekend, each week, every month. So it just sort of slowly just, it sort of, time helped everything, really. Like, everything.
Okay, because you hear that.
It really is true.
That's
it
good.
really is true. So, yeah.
Some of the things, what I also liked about this book is that, thank goodness I have never been through this. Of course, most of us have lost loved ones, but not quite so close. But I have known people who have.
Yeah.
And your story provides some really good tips for people who maybe want to be able to reach out and help. Because, these horrible things happened in our loved ones' lives, and you're kind of like, I don't know what to do. Here's 5 casseroles,
Yeah.
What was it that you found the most helpful that maybe other people can take as tips?
Well, the most was just, it's almost like some people would write to me and say, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm thinking about, do not write me back. Do not write me back. I just want to tell you hi. Or just thoughtful things. I always just, and for me, I'm like a thing person. So like friends would drop like a cozy sweater, coffee, just something. Or I'm trying to think, like, people would be so good to my kids that just made me so happy because like that was all that I cared about.
Yeah.
So also, I've had friends I've ran into now that they were like, I just want you to know, I never reached out to you, but I thought about you all the time, but I knew you were so busy. And I was like, thank you. Like, that was a gift in itself, like not making it another thing that I had to be like, oh, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
I'm sure in the direct aftermath, especially, like, there's already so much to do. You know, you talk about like all the paperwork that you had to fill out and stuff that you really don't think of. So you're already on overload. You're missing one half of your entire life, plus the, you know, the person who helped you out with all the little things. That you kind of didn't need to feel like you had to, you know, make other people feel better for helping you. You know, like there's always that obligation or So, how are your kids doing? How are things going?
They are so good.
Yeah.
They're happy, healthy. Good. They have like a good group of friends. They talk to me, talk to each other. Just like hearing them smile, laugh, seeing all that. It, you know, just for me, I'm like, I don't care what else happens. I'm good. I'm good with that.
How did they feel about you writing a book about all this? How was that? Mom's putting me in a book.
They love it. And it's been humbling because like if we go somewhere, someone will come up and be like, oh, your book. And then my one side goes, oh, shut up. So I'm like, thank you for making it real. Because,
you're still mom to them. Mom. You're not the author. You're mom.
No, And I did give it to them to read because some friends were like, oh, my daughter's going to read it. He was like 16 or 17. So I thought they need to know what's happening. And so when I gave it to each one of them, I said, you know, if you have questions, you just have to ask me. And you know, if you're in a sad part, like please keep reading because it'll get like you'll get to the part when you know you'll get to see the good parts. So.
Well, tell me what, you know, in your words, you think the overall message of the book is. Is it hopeful? Is it
hopeful for sure?
Hopeful.
It makes me cry. Just that, you know, you just being good to each other. I think because like being in Chesapeake and growing up in Virginia Beach, just all my like friends and family and just neighbors and just like the little things are. Like that's where I like look for that because I'm like, you just need that. You need all that. So having that's been just hopeful, I guess, you know.
Yeah. It seems like you have a great community around you and I'm so happy that you do.
Me too.
And I'm so happy that you put all this down in the book. It was so well written.
Thank you.
Cried. I have goosebumps thinking about it. So thank you for all that you've done. And we're going to direct everybody to go to your local bookstore, go to Amazon, find Widows That Function. Where can they find you if they want to follow you?
Ooh, okay, so I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
And in the book, I have the Instagram page. I have a website, but it sort of just takes you to my Instagram page.
Perfect.
But you can message me through that. So it's WTFBYABBY on Instagram. So WTF by Abby at in front of it.
Love it. Love it. Abby, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
You've done great work. This has been fun.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you all.
That does it for this episode of Peak Life. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.